And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
That's just what I wanted for Christmas. Applause. How did you know? Boy, you're in a good mood. How many times do you think you're going to hear that on Christmas Day? Just what I wanted. When you don't know what to say, and you open this gift, you go, just what I always wanted. A computerized melon baller. Anyway, I'm Johnny Carson, bringing you the gift of comedy. Batteries not included tonight. You're a good group. You make up for last night's audience. Last night's audience did not have the Christmas spirit. Well, I'll tell you how bad it was. Today, they're taking me to People's Court. And they're suing me for stealing a precious hour out of their lives. That's nasty. Well, it's about, what, 4 days, I guess, until Christmas. And many years ago, 3 wise men decided to follow a star. And those 3 wise men were DeCordova, McMahon, and Doc Suckers. And here we are. Anyway, it's a nice time of year, isn't it? Yeah. This time of the year, I think of Donner and Prancer and, who's the other, Dasher and Blitzen. Yeah. That's my law firm. I have been getting, for the past several months, a lot of catalogs. How many of you shop by catalog? Seriously, I'll tell you. You get some... I noticed a strange thing this year. It's a wonderful idea. The L.L. Bean Company. You familiar with them? They merged with Fredericks of Hollywood. And you can buy this year an inflatable woman that can also be used as a kayak. It is. And I saw another catalog item, kind of weird. It was a restroom convenience with stereo speakers called a Sony Squatman. Weird. It is. Have you mailed your packages yet? If you haven't mailed your packages, forget it. And I don't want to kid the post office and accuse him of being slow, but they just got a postcard from Custer asking for help. You know, you can tell us about 4 days from Christmas. Always tell. Oh. Looked out the window this morning. The garbage man was knocking the dents out of my can. Anyway. People around the country will not believe this. We had snow in California. Palmdale had, what, about a foot of snow? Yeah. Which is incredible for California, and it caused a lot of traffic problems because the Highway Patrol broadcast, got on the radio and said, you need chains. And the problem with people in California, they thought it was a dress requirement. Yes. There was a news bulletin on the AP teletype a moment ago. Singer Paul Williams was just hospitalized today after some crazed shoppers mistook him for a Cabbage Patch doll. One of the brightest comedians to come along a long time, Gary Shandling, is with us this evening. And some special Christmas music. We don't have, for example, on our budget on our show, enough money for, say, the Los Angeles Philharmonic, which we wanted to present, so we've made a compromise. And we have a gentleman by the name of John Toomey, who will come out later in the show and entertain you with some special Christmas music.
Yes.
We think. Anyway, stay where you are. We'll be right back. Thank you. Okay.
Well, it was the night before Christmas when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even my spouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, and well, I'd just finished dyeing my hair. The children were nestled all snug near the bedpost, except for Michael, who stayed on the West Coast. When, well, out in the rose garden there came such a din, well, I thought it was Mondale trying to break in. I sprang from my bed and opened my yap and said, "Let's have a cabinet meeting and I'll catch a nap." When what did I see but a large flying sleigh, an old red-nosed fat man sat at the wheel. Were we being invaded by Tip O'Neill? More rapid than a tax hike, his reindeer they came. Well, he whistled and shouted and called them by name. On Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer and Vixen. Well, don't be afraid, this is Reagan, not Nixon. Well, and he called to the reindeer, so fleet on the hoof. This is the White House, don't poop on the roof. Then down the fireplace he came with a whoosh. I said, "Please use the door, the chimney's for Bush." His eyes were so merry, so filled with serenity. His stomach was big, like the gut of Ted Kennedy. I smiled at Santa and paid my respects, and he said, "Please don't cut my Social Security checks." Well, I laughed at these words from the jolly old elf and said, "Why should I cut them? I get them myself." I gave old Santa a glass of eggnog. Then he stepped in a present, courtesy of our dog. He brought bananas for Bonso and one for the Gipper, and for young Ron a new pair of ballet slippers. He also brought Kissinger a present for Hanukkah, a photo of Ed Meese wearing a yarmulke, a live G.I. Joe doll for Casper Weinberger, and for my daughter Maureen, French fries and a burger. Then suddenly Santa handed me the bill, which he made out to the Pentagon for $200 million. Santa said, "I've got to move on to fulfill my quota." I said, "Do me a favor and skip Minnesota." So he sprang to his sleigh, to his team, gave a whistle. Then he flew through the air like a big MX missile. And I shouted to Santa as he rode out of sight, "Well, there you go again. Merry Christmas, and to all a good night."
Okay, my next guest is a very funny young man. Gary Shandling's a very funny young man, and he's going to be appearing at Caesar's Tahoe from December the 26th to the 1st of January. And then he'll be in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace, January the 2nd through the 8th. Would you welcome Gary Shandling?
Thanks, that's a nice welcome. Obviously, some of you haven't seen me before. Merry Christmas. Hi, I was the one kid in my family who got one gift for my birthday and Christmas. Anybody else? Yeah. Was yours August 15th also? Birthday August 15th? Not a pretty story at my house. And then you always wanted toys and your parents would give you clothing. Do you remember this? And how upset you were because you wanted toys and they gave you clothing. I'm getting even. I'm giving my mother a bike this year for Christmas. Do you buy your dogs gifts? Now, why do we do that? Because I do that, too. Do you think the dog is up the night before Christmas going, I wonder what I'm getting tomorrow? And then he comes in and he sees the tree in the house. He's thinking, that's my gift. A tree in the house. No more cold nights for me. I don't know. I bought him my dog a dog collar last Christmas, and he just looked at it and said, clothing? Anyway, it's been a good holiday for me because those of you who know me know I'm single. I met a girl last week. I was at a restaurant with some friends, and the waitress came on to me after dinner. She said, would you like some dessert? You know, and they don't say that to everybody. And so I talked to her, right? And we go out, so I pick her up at her house, and she's wearing a leopard skin top. And evidently this leopard had huge boobs. And unbelievable. And I don't know if this was off the rack or what, but she got a lucky one. And so we go out to eat, and we're at the restaurant. Have you guys ever accidentally ordered from the child's portion of the menu? Because it's not always clearly separated, am I right? And the waiter comes over and you go, yeah, she'll have the lobster Newburg, and I'll have Captain Andy's toddler platter, please. Oh, I didn't see that. Well, do any of these others come with the sailor hats? So I get her home, I take her home, and I try everything, right? A friend of mine said, try oysters. These are supposed to be very stimulating sexually. So I tried oysters, but the shell's scratched so bad. I don't know. Am I putting them on wrong? How do those work? Then a friend of mine says, rub oil on the other person. I have never done this in my life. I have a couple cans of Mobil 1 on my nightstand, just in case. You know, 30 and 40 weight. 30 and 40 weight, because I don't know what time of the year it's going to happen. So this is, all right, now, all right, now women, see, I like when a woman talks in bed, right? I mean, this really turns the guy on, and this woman is really talking to the point where I had to say, hang up the phone and, you know, spend a couple minutes with her. And then, which I'm very sensitive. It's very important now for a woman to express her needs in bed, which this girl did great. She said, "Get off me." You know, now I know what you like. You know, and because a guy doesn't know if he's good in bed. Am I right, guys? Unless the woman says something complimentary, like my last girlfriend one time said, "Don't even pay me this time," and I felt great. So. But anyway, without getting into it, it went great. I think I haven't looked at the films yet, but I have a grocery store scanning camera in my room because a lot of times the girl's so disappointed, you know, she'll steal something, so I have to watch. I make love with my eyes open because I don't trust women. Because a lot of times, no, I'll be making love to them, you know, and they leave, and I want to know what's going on. So I tried everything. So then I tried a car, right? I bought a Porsche because this is supposed to impress women. Which is why I had to widen my bedroom door because I drive it right in there. And are you aware now, this is a new thing, there's a new federal law that if the baby is in the car, a baby has to be in the safety seat? Did you know this? This is a law, and there was just a case in L.A. this week where they arrested a baby because he wasn't in the seat. Oh, and they had him spread out on the hood of the car. They were frisking. They were trying to frisk him. They said, you frisk him. There's something in that diaper, Bill. So Then I went to, I figured I'm going to go to Hawaii, so, because I want to go where there's girls, right? So, and then I was going to go from Hawaii to Japan. My dad said, if you go to Japan, son, don't buy a book. I have one of those American English translation books. Don't buy one. So this is great. I take my dad's book, and I'm saying to Japanese people great things like, throw down your weapons. Thanks a lot. You've been great. Thank you very much.
Old book your dad had around the house,
Oh,
huh?
I said, this isn't the way to make friends, Dad.
Throw down your weapon.
Oh, does your sister like nylon?
That might have been good 40-some years ago, but that's
it didn't
no
work
good
for
now.
me. I didn't meet anybody.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Thanks for having me back,
Hey,
as always. I appreciate it a lot.
You talk a lot about being single, and...
As you do.
Yes. I have been there before, you see.
Yes,
So I've learned something along the way, I think.
Well, I've often said you're my image of just exactly why I'm single. I think I would make a good husband.
You think so? Are you seriously interested in matrimony?
I
So
don't
that's
know.
a decision you have to make.
Now, matrimony means
Marriage.
Right. No, I think I would like to get married. I haven't been in love in a long time, but I think I would make a good husband. I don't think I'd have sex with lots of other women, because I don't now, you know, and
No reason to break that pattern.
it doesn't change.
No,
I mean,
no.
You don't get married and have sex with lots of other women, do you?
No, you
all right,
no, no,
so
that
then,
breaks
because I
that.
would get married. But I'm confused about the whole thing.
Well, how would you know if you're in love? Have you ever...
Well, I've been in love, this is a true thing, and then you feel awkward because you don't know if the girl feels the same way. And I said to this one girl once, I love you, do you feel the same way? She said, yes, I love myself also. And she was from Los Angeles, needless to say. I don't know, actually, you know, all kidding aside, I come on, I talk about women a lot. And people say, do you really have that much trouble with relationships? And I think my friends say I'm too selective. And I don't know if that's the case. It's really, might be, because it's to the point now I won't go out with a girl unless she says, all right, I'll go out with you. And that's where I draw the line.
You gotta narrow them, you gotta winnow those other ones out. Now, Christmas is coming up. Now, do you have friends you have to buy different gifts for, or?
I have some friends I have to buy gifts for. I know you asked Tony what he would buy himself, because I actually find things I always want to buy for myself. I want to, actually, which I wanted to ask you about, get a computer, because I need to file my jokes on something, because I'm losing my jokes, but maybe someone can inform me on this. Ever since I saw War Games, I'm real frightened to put my jokes in the computer, because Shecky Green might come in, and can he siphon those babies out? And just, you know,
they can patch into those things now.
I'll see Bob Hope saying, oh, the oysters, they didn't fit right, and I'll be going, wait, that's my material.
Computer, yeah. So, is there the possibility that some night you might walk out and say, I got married yesterday, or something like that? Are you at that any stage at all?
Now, what would happen? You tell me, first of all, if I got married, do you think my act would then, I would be talking about getting married? Or would I say, gee, I remember when I was single? I always wonder about that.
Yeah, you might lose, you see. Women are very attracted to the funny guys. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
They like a sense of humor.
Well, I find women are more attracted to singers. Like, when I work in Las Vegas, you see women throw their keys to the room. Like, do you have that? Where women throw their keys up on stage? I don't have that either. Then I got to break in with a screwdriver or something.
I know it's